Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to this session. Greetings from Mercy Technologies. In today's session, we will see how to read the contents from the file, right? So as part of this session, we will see little bit introduction and high level about file handling, right? How we could able to interact with the file system using Java. And today we will see how to create, simple files, and we see how we can how we could able to read the contents from the file, right? And if needed, like little bit introduction about career guidance and real-time usage, right? This is what our high level about our today's session. So in yesterday's session, like I have covered little bit, right? In case if you missed yesterday's session, you can watch it. So in yesterday's session, I have explained how to write into the file system, right? How we can able to interact with the file system, mainly how we can able to write, how we could able to create the file, and how we can able to write it using Java application, right? So that is what we have seen about file writer, right? Or the things. So in today's session, little bit we'll go like same thing we will see about little bit about file handling, right? So as I know, in our real-time application, we often need to interact with the file system, right? Like in case if you connect with any external system like database or any, you know, DBs, right? Or any mainframes or any servers, in case if you want to connect, those credentials, details we will be keeping in the properties file, right? Or you want to do something, you want to persist something, right? So those things will be interacting, that time we'll be interacting with the file system. So this file handling, it is a concept in Java. So this basically helps us to interact with the file system, right? So using this file handling, we could able to create or delete or read, write with the files. And this is very one of the important topic in Code Java, and it's quite interesting, right? So by using this file handling concept, JDK developers already they have provided a set of classes and interfaces. So they have provided various methods to interact with the file system, right? So in case if you want to create directory or files, that also possible. So even we can, in case if you want to if you want to perform write operation, then there are various classes are available like file writer, buffer reader, right? Output stream, there are various classes are available that we can use to write as well as update it, right? So in case if you want to read from the file, again they have provided set of predefined classes like file reader, buffer reader, right? That we are going to see today. Apart from that, there are few more concepts like serialization, externalization. Serialization basically like, it is used to write the object state into, uh, you know, uh, into the file system, right? Deserialization means whatever it's there in the file, those will be, again back to the memory, that is like object, right? So as I said, this is very one of the important topic in Code Java. Mostly if you go to any project, for sure there will be file operation. Without file operation, you cannot able to see the file class, right? So now, if you observe, these are the very high level brief introduction about file handling, right? And now what we will do, we will start experimenting few, programs, right? So what we will do is, so whatever we have covered in the previous session, same we are going to cover now. Okay. This is just to just for understanding what we are going to do, right? We'll just see few programs quickly, whatever we have seen in the previous session. Then like we can go ahead with the file reading operation, right? Suppose consider I want to create on file creation one.java. Okay. So this is the class I'm going to create in Eclipse. So in case if you are not aware of Eclipse it is an IDE. So this is used to develop enterprise applications, right? So what we can do is here we are going to create a file, a physical file we are going to create. So as we seen before, JDK developers, I said like they have defined various inbuilt classes, right? This, easy for us. This is easy for us to go and, start using it. If you observe, the first important class is file. This file class is developed by JDK developers. All file related classes are available inside java.io package. Okay. So first we need to create the file object. So how to create the object? You guys already know, right? File, you can give the reference name. Consider F1 equal to new file of, right? Inside this, you can give the file name, right? I can say my file one, right? My file one.txt. This is my file, right? If you observe, you will get compile time error because file all this file class is available inside java.io package. So we need to import it. Import java.io.file, or you can import all together, right? In case if you want to import everything, then use star, right? Now you have created on file object, right? Now what I can do is I can call a method. Inside this, I have one method called create new file, right? Let's say create new file. Yeah, this is the method. This basically throwing IO exception, checked exception, and it is return type is Boolean type, right? So what it does, if you see the documentation, atomically creates a new empty file, right? It creates a new empty file, right? Whatever path we are providing it, by using that path, in that path it will create the new empty file. So what I'm going to do, simple, I'm just going to call f1 dot create new file. So this will give compile time error. Why? Because it is throwing checked exception. So you need to throw either you need to handle using try catch, or same you need to throw it. This you no need to worry. We will see in our actual class about exception handling. There I will cover more. Now that's all. So let's just print. It's done. If you observe in the project, we don't have any files here. Just refresh the project. Yeah, there is no file here, right? Now what we will do, let's run this. Right click, run as Java application. You got the output, done, right? Let's refresh again. See here, my file one.txt. One file, physical file is created, right? Let's change the name into two, my file two. Let's run again. You need to see one more file should be created. Let's refresh. Every time you need to refresh. See, my file two.txt also is created. This is how we can create a new file, right? If you observe this create new file, basically it returns a Boolean type, right? So that Boolean means if file is created successfully, it will return true. Okay. In case if you want, you can put a Boolean flag, right? Just like status, right? I can say status. Either file is created successfully or not. Same I am printing it, right? So let's remove these two files. I'm deleting these two files. Okay. Delete. Let's delete it. Now I am creating my file1.txt. First time it will check, is there any file name with the same name? If it is there, it will, if it is not there, it will create and it will return true. Now we don't have any file. Let's run it. Status is true. You are saying right. So it means it has created a new file. Refresh it. Yeah, we got a new file. In case if we run this same program again one more time, already my file1.txt is there. So it will not create a new file with the same name. Status will be false. It means file creation operation is failed. Right? So it will check before creating a new file by using create new file method. It will check existing already file is there or not. If it is there, it will not create. The file creation operation is failed, it will return false. In case if it is not there, it will create a new file and it returns true. Now, in case if you want, to create in a specific directory, that also you can specify here. Hey, I want to create a file inside this directory, right? So what do you do? Copy this address, right? Copy this address. Then what you will do? Keep it inside double quotes, right? Slash, this one is consider my file one.txt, right? My file one.txt. So what it will do? It will create a file in this location. If you observe here in this location, currently it does not have any file, right? So simply run this. Status is true. It means it has created a new file successfully. See here. Yes, one empty file is created successfully. It is a text file, right? Now, in case if you want to create different, extension, then you can go ahead. This we have already seen, like, application.properties, right? You can give the extension, then you can run it. If you observe here, status is true, go back, application.properties file is created successfully, right? This is how we can able to create, files in Java, right? Using file class, right? So far we have seen like how we can create a empty file, right? Now, we will see furthermore. In previous session, we have seen how to write into file, right? So in actual today's session, we will see how to read from the file, right? Consider you have a file called my file one, right? This we have created now, right? Consider you are already having a file. You are having some content inside. Suppose consider something like this. Greetings from Mercy Technologies. Let us learn Java easily. Java is simple and easy. These are the contents. It is there in the file, right? So we want to read this at Java side, right? We would like to write some program which could be able to read contents from the file. Contents can be anything, right? Just for test purpose, I have put some content, right? So content can be anything. So we will see how we can read from the file. That is our actual session, right? Our actual thing is file reading, right? How we can able to read from the file, right? File reading operations in Java, right? So let's go ahead and see. So for reading purpose, we can use different classes, right? One is like we can use file reader, and also we can use buffered reader, right? And again, like in case if you want to read streams, right, raw data or streams, then you can use input stream, right, or buffered input stream. we can use various predefined classes are there. So we will see by using file reader and buffered reader how we can able to read it, right? So what we will do is, let's create a new class. Let's go with the new class. So I can put like file reading, right? This is my class, or you can say reading file, right? Let the class name be meaningful, right? Reading file, right? Or file reader. Already predefined classes are there, right? So we cannot go with the same name. So that's okay. We can reading from file or something like reading the file, right? Let's go with the reading file .java. This is our class, right? So in this class, we are going to write the logic to read the content from the file, right? We are going with the main class, right? So what we are going to do is, there are predefined classes are there. I said right in the beginning, there are predefined classes are there which are used for reading purpose. Let's open Control Shift T, right? For writing purpose, there are file writer and buffered writer. Same way for reading purpose, file reader and buffered reader. Let's open file reader, right? File reader. All these classes are available inside java.io package, right? You see here what this class does. Read text from character files using default buffer size. File reader is a basic class, right? This is developed in JDK 1.1 version. And this basically what it does, reads the text from the file, right? Simple, right? And if you see, this extends some stream readers, right? No need to worry about much, right? By using this file reader class, we can able to read the, characters from the file. One more abstract level class is there, that is like buffered reader. Buffered reader, right? If you observe buffered reader, this is very good for reading. In real-time application, mostly we will use buffered reader. Buffered reader is, good for reading purpose. It will be very faster, right? So again, what it does, reads text from a character input stream. Basically, this also read from the text file, but it uses internally, it uses buffering mechanism, right? That's why it is fast, right? So large amount of data, what we can do is, we can use buffered reader for reading large amount of data, right? So again, like, we can make use of this class for reading purpose. So we no need to worry about writing this much code. Already JDK developers, they have developed it, right? So our idea is to use the predefined class and to make use of it and write our logic, right? That's very simple. So let's go ahead with the code. This is the class we have created. What we will do, we know already how to create the file object, right? First step is, right, this what we are going to do, we are reading the file. First step is create object to file class, right? So creating an object to file class, right? Creating an object to file class, right? How to create it? We already know that. So file f1 equal to new file of which location you want. Same thing, you can copy and paste it. So I want this file, right? Same location, that is here, right? Let's put it in double quotes. So we are not going to read properties file. Now we are going to read text file. my file1.text. This internally has some content, right? This content we are going to read. So let's put this file name file1.txt, right? File name should be same name or else you will get exception. So this will give throw error. So import java.io. Put star because we are going to use other classes as well, like file reader or buffer reader. All the things we need to import it manually. First, creating the object to file. How to create? By using new keyword. What is the second step? Second step is simple, right? So create the object to file reader class, right? File reader class. How to create it? It's simple. File reader, we are going to make use of this class, file reader class. We are going to create an object to this file reader class, right? So file reader, right? So I can say some reference name. I can give in. In means input, right? Equal to new file reader of. So this takes one constructor. If you observe, this takes one single. So file reader, inside file reader, various constructors are available, right? If you observe, it's taking a file, right? So we are going to use this file reader, right? Let's use file reader, pass the reference, right? Reference is nothing but F1. Either you can give F1 or better to give some meaningful name. Let's make it file, okay? This is the file reference. And if you observe, it gives one compile time error. What is the error? Unhandled exception, type file not found exception. Go here. If you observe, this constructor is throwing file not found exception. So it is a checked exception. So we need to handle it, right? We need to handle it. Same way, keep throws here in file reading. Throw this exception. Either you can handle it using try catch or you need to throw it. You no need to worry in case if you don't understand this line. We will see in our regular class very in depth about exception handling. I think there are more than 10 sessions are there for covering exception handling. There we will see everything in detail. For now, we need to create the file object. We need to create the file reader object by supplying the file reference, right? So now that step is we are going to create an object to buffered reader, right? We are going to create an object to this class buffered reader, right? It's simple. Similar way you create one more object to buffered reader class. How to create buffered reader, right? Buffered reader. I just put like bin. Bin means nothing like buffered reader input, right? In case if you are using buffered reader, you will put b out. B out is nothing but so in a buffered reader output, right? Even you can put f in also fine. File reader input, right? This is how in industry in real time application we will name, right? If you observe like any of your project, you can see something like this. Use new keyword, new buffered reader of. It takes on reader type, pass this reference f in, right? That's all. Simple, right? So we are creating an object to buffered reader class. And what we are passing buffered reader constructor, it is taking file reader type. So we are passing file reader reference, right? And buffered reader, if you observe, right, this is the constructor, right? So once you get the buffered reader, what is the fourth step? This is the third step, right? What is the fourth step? Start reading the file. That's all. Start reading the file, right? So how I can read the file? Simple. Inside buffered reader, right? By using buffered reader, bin dot readline method. There is a method is there called the readline method. What this readline method will do? simple read line method. It is available inside buffered reader class, right? Read line method reads a line of text. Simple. One complete line it will read. It means this is our file, right? B, if you use read line method, what it will do, it will read the first line. Completely it will read. Like greetings from Mercy Technologies. This is our file, right? So it will read the first line. So what we are going to do? We are going to make use of this read line method. Again, if you observe, this is throwing on IO exception. IO exception is a checked exception, right? So again, you need to throw it. IO exception, we need to throw it. That's why it gives compile time error. Just add it here, right? We are going to add file not found exception and IO exception both, right? Let's store it in a variable, string variable. I can say line, right? This returns one particular line, right? Same, shall we print it? SYSO, just print the line. We will see what it comes, right? Now let's run this program. Run as Java application. You can see we could able to read the first line, right? Greetings from Mercy Technologies. You just open our file. This is the first line we are having. We could able to read the first line, right? By using read line method. But we are not able to read the complete file. Only one line only we could able to read, right? So what we are going to do is we need to read all the lines. Suppose the file consists 1000 lines. You need to read all 1000 lines, right? So we need to write it in a generic way. So read line method always gives, right, the current line, right, or first line, current line, right? What I'm going to do, let me comment out this. I'm not printing. I'm going to see, hey, whether read line method first pointer will be here at this first line, okay? When I call read line method, it will return the first one. Then I will check whether it is null or not. It means, suppose, consider pointer is here at the third position and I'm moving into the fourth position. Here you are trying to read something, but it does not have fourth row, fourth line, there is no line. It will return null, right? So I should terminate the program. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to use some loop, okay? So you can use any of the loop, but we are going to use while loop. While this line should not be null. If it is null, just come out. If it is not null, then what you do, just print the line. I'm going to move this statement here, right? Just print the line. After printing the first line, again, move the pointer to the second line. Okay. So read line method, what it does is, again, it will read, again, it will move the pointer to the second one. You are getting me? So read line method, what it will do? First, it will read it. Whatever the first line, it will read and it will return. So we are stored in line, that is in a string object, right? Line, right? This is the reference is pointing. And after reading, it will move the cursor to the second line. Okay. Now again, I'm going to call read line method. Same thing I'm going to call. Now what it will do? Cursor in the second position. Now you are calling read line method. So it will return the, now if you observe, line will be consisting of second string object, right? Then again, this will move to the third position. Cursor will be moved. Again, while this is a loop, right? It will come here. Line not equal to null. Yes, second line is not equal to null. Then what you are reading? What you are doing? Printing the line. Second, printing the second line. And again, you are calling read line method. Now cursor in the third position. Read line method will return the third line that you are storing. Again, cursor will be moved to the fourth position. Then if you observe, line is not equal to null. No, there is no characters are there in the fourth position. So what it will do? It will come out from the loop because line is null, right? Condition becomes false. So it comes out from the loop, right? So let's just quickly see what we are getting now. Okay, let's run this program now, right? I am going to run this program now. Let's see what we are getting the output. See here, you are getting all the outputs, right? Greetings from Mercy Technologies. Let us learn Java easily. Java is simple and easy. Let's add a few more lines, right? Welcome to this session, right? Today, let us learn file reading operations, right? So I'm saving this file. Let's run this same program again. Right click, run as. So you are seeing the output, right? So all the file lengths we could able to read it successfully, right? So let's take closer look. Let's go little deeper. Again, one more time. Let's see little deeper. So we need only 4 steps. Create the file. Which file you want to read? Create the file reader object. Create the buffer reader object. For file reader object, supply the file reference. For buffer reader object, supply the file reader reference, right? Simple, very simple. Creating the objects. Once you create the object, what you do? Start reading it. How to read it? Use readline method, right? Now let's run this program in debug line. In debug mode, let's try to run. On the left side, if you observe, there is a place. Double click, you will see a bubble, right? Here you can able to see a bubble. What this bubble will do? This is setting up of debugging point, right? See here, I'm keeping a bubble, right? This is the bubble. So once you set the debug points, then what you can do, you can start debugging. Right click, instead of run as, go with the debug as. We are going to see line by line, right? Guys, I mean, please pay attention little bit more. This is quite easier. Line by line, we are going to execute. F6, press F6. First time we have created a file object, right? The path is, if you observe here, the path is, this is the path, right? We are going to read from this place. Dynamic value, we are seeing it. Then second step is creating the file reader object by supplying file object, right? Then that step is creating the buffered reader, right? Yeah, once you get the buffered reader, that's all. You have complete all the content into the buffer. Consider in case 1,000 million lines are there, then all the things will be copied into the buffer, right? In the memory. Now what you do? Just call readline method. Readline method. Let's run this. See the value here. First line you are seeing it, right? If you mouse over on top of the string object, you can see greetings from Mercy Technologies, right? Greetings from Mercy Technologies. It will return first line, cursor will be moved to the second line. First it is returning the first line. Where is cursor? Cursor will be moved to the second line. Same thing we are printing it. This line is not equal to null. Whatever it returned, it is not equal to null. Printing the first line. We are getting the output. Cursor now it is in the second line. Again you are calling readline method. What readline method will do? It returns this and cursor will be moved to the third line. So the second line is not equal to null, right? Condition is true. Printing the second line, right? Again you are calling readline method. So cursor in the third line. It will return the third line. Third line again, you are printing it. Again, you are calling readline method. Cursor in the fourth line, it returns the fourth line. It is not equal to null. Again, you are calling read line method, cursor in the fifth line, returning the fifth line, executing it, printing it. Now we got fifth line. Now cursor in the sixth line, but nothing is there, right? Right? Cursor is in the sixth line, nothing is there. It is null. So it will come out from the loop. If you observe, it came out from the loop, right? This is how we can read from the file. So even we can modify this program. So we no need to create the file object. Directly what we can do is I'm going to modify this program to get rid of first step. Directly you can give the path here. Instead of file, if you observe file reader, this is a constructor, right? It takes different types of, values. If you observe here, one is taking file type. Second one is taking string type. Even you can make use of this constructor. Directly you can pass the location, right? Complete path with the file name, right? So same thing, I'm going to move this here. I'm going to copy this. Directly I'm going to give here. I don't need this. I'm going to delete this, right? Now it becomes simple, right? Directly you are going to use file reader, right? And you are specifying the path, which path you want to read. We are making use of different constructor. So again, like one line is getting reduced. Now we are going to use it, right? This is also similar. That's all. If you run this program, you will get same output, right? In case consider I have one more file. Okay. Suppose consider file2 I have. Okay. File2.txt. This is file2.txt. Okay. Let me open this file2. Open in Notepad++. So I'm modifying this. Okay. Hi. Greetings. Right? What's up? So this file consists basically, these are the contents we are having it. File2, what it does? This has simple contents, right? Only 3 lines. So I want to read this file. How to read? Simple. Only change the file name. That's all. Which file you want to read? File2.txt, right? That's all. Let's run this program. See, our program acts independently, right? It can able to read any type of file, right? This is the another way. Now, in case if I want to make more better way this class, even I don't need to create a reference. I don't need to point and I don't need to pass. Instead of passing this f in, this complete line I can move it here, right? This complete line I can move it here. Let me make the changes. I'm just making the changes below. This complete line, I am going to move it here. This is also possible, right? Correct. If you observe here, you can delete these 2 lines. These 2 lines I have merged into one. So what you are doing, creating the file reader object, creating the buffer reader object, passing the file reader reference. Instead of passing the file read reference, directly I can create the object, I can pass it in single line itself, right? Now again, the line is getting reduced, right? I can remove this, right? Simple, right? Once I am done, I can close it. Simple. Now let's run this program again. Let's make it bean only, right? Let's run this program. Again, you are getting the output, right? So this is simple. One thing we need to observe is once you complete the reading, once you're done with the reading, then you need to close the resource. This is very important. either reading or writing, for sure we need to close the connection, or else performance will become very bad, right? Because you are initiating a connection from the JVM to file system. Once you complete the reading or writing, immediately you need to close the connection, right? Same way like database also, right? We see, right? Session objects, whenever, after persisting, what we do? Immediately we will close the session, right? Same way, similar way, once we complete the operation with the file, either it is reading or writing, we need to close the connection. So as part of today's session, we have seen like how to interact with the file system, how to create the file, mainly how to read the contents from the file. So we are going to start a new batch on Core Java advanced concepts like file handling, exception handling, those things, we are going to cover. So this is what we are going to cover as part of this course. So now if you observe in file handling, so we have seen like few programs, like, how we can able to read and how we can able to write. But in file handling itself, we will cover more than 150 programs for sure, 150 to 200 programs step by step. So these are the topics we are going to cover. Collection API, we will be covering more than 300 program. So exception more than 100. So this basically it helps you to crack the interviews, as well as, if you are working person, it helps you to understand your project in a better way, and to work in an efficient manner. So this is a 2 months course we are going to start. So this is like advanced core Java advanced topic, right? And the duration we are planning is, I need to cover around 500 to 600 programs. So it will take 2 months to cover. And this will be Monday to Friday session, weekday session. So for now we are planning in the morning. So the course starting date is, we are going to start from coming Tuesday, right? That is like 8th of June. 8th of June 2021 we are going to start. So the timing is morning 7:30 to 8:30. Okay, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30. So we all the topics we will cover very in depth, like background of the topic. Then each topic we will cover various programs, like similar way, like line by line explanation. So we will develop all our programs line by line. When you are completing, for sure, you need to get minimum 2 to 3 years real time knowledge, right? How these concepts are used in real time application, right? So for this we are planning to charge the fees 3,500. So this is the fee for the core Java course. So in case if you can able to pay, you can pay it, or else you can pay in 2 installment. So I hope like today and yesterday's session you have attended. So if you like, you can join the course. So if you want to join the course, then what you can do is, you can WhatsApp me to my personal number, right? This is our institute number. So you can say, hey, I want to join this core Java course, I'm interested. Then just WhatsApp me to this number. So you can start attending from Tuesday onwards.